What you see, what you feel, what you can embrace. That's the only thing that matters. That's the only thing that matters to me. And they were trying to erase that. I was such a robot. I remember just sitting there, listening to them talking, or standing there, just doing things to do it just because they said it. That it would protect us, when really we were protecting them with our innocence and our love. Drops from heaven fall in my eyes. The fog turns into shadows, forming the shadows. City lights on the ground turn to neon as if on glass. I was protected by it. I was protected by the sky, the colors, the silhouettes of the trees, the weather. I was protected by it. And when I finally got to the location, that's when I finally remembered everything that hurt. How everyone became me, how everyone wanted to speak like me, how my designs, they took them and they wanted my designs. That's all they wanted. And I wrote it before it happened. I don't know how it happened. But I remember you in a dream, and I don't know how I can embrace you. And I'm afraid of you, because I know they maneuver everything. And how could I feel something so real? Because what I feel is real, but you're not. And that's more dangerous than not feeling at all. Then Lestelle answered, "You ever notice that love and hate is so strong it doesn't allow us to focus? I'm pretty sure they verbally created those words for when the vibrations come out, our bodies or minds receive a disconnection from simplicity. Whenever you're grounded, remember, whenever you're feeling peaceful, at ease. Not even peaceful, because I know that was hard for us to obtain, but at ease with everything, content. They would always bring some kind of hypeness to the moment, to heighten your senses, to see if you would choose love or hate. There was no other choice but love or hate. And it was always when you were calm. They were trying to make you feel unfocused. They never did this to me because they weren't trying to steal from me. They weren't trying to imitate me, to make me feel out of my worth. You see, with you, they tried that to make you feel out of your worth, because you were more put together in knowing where you were heading. I wasn't. I was more put together knowing that it's fine just being here. So for me, it was easier because I did things more in control than you. And of course, it's always about them saying that we're not in control of ourselves, so they can force us to do what they want out of us. Chase took the blindfold off, though he could see everything without it. The blindfold only prevented him from seeing Lestelle. He took it off, and they acknowledged that they could go in the tower. They decided to go through one of the windows. because they no longer felt hate nor love. They can feel around them, keeping them stable-minded. When they went in, Chase started to see that Lestelle was disappearing. And she started saying the same thing because they would both see the same hallucinations since the beginning. That's why they got separated. And people didn't want them together because they didn't want two people believing in the same thing and having more people seeing the same thing, and then the government, their creation, will become an illusion, and they will see past the illusion that was already there. It would become in front of their eyes. And the government didn't want that. They didn't want people to know that everything was created by just acknowledging it. If they would have never acknowledged it, they would have never gone by that government. But because Chase and Lestelle were in a place unknown, that were already told to their minds that it was the worst place they could ever go, when they were inside of it, they started disappearing to each other. Chase started looking at Lestelle. Without talking, he started connecting with her, trying to let her know that he was there. And she would do the same thing. It was called, what they called it, the silent voice. And out of nowhere, they can see each other, but they didn't want to look around. The brain was allowing them to know that if they looked away, the brain will completely forget everything they remembered about each other, and they will disappear. Because it was love that was taught to have memory. Any emotion that created love taught them to have memory of what keeps you going. But they weren't allowed to feel love or fear, so all they can do is try what they were talking about and put it in practice. So they started just analyzing their surroundings to be content. When the window was fully closed of the tower, all of the toxic air got out from the cloud, and they were able to then see each other fully.